Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the Chosen Ones Star Wars podcast here on Game Domain. As always, I'm your host, Jason, joined by my co-host, Captain.
Kazana.
All right, so we were really hoping that we would be able to review the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer for you guys today, but we are recording this on Friday, September 4th. This is supposed to be coming out on Monday, September 7th. With our luck, probably right as we're done recording this here on Friday night, or with over Saturday or Sunday, we'll get the Mandalorian trailer, which we wish we could review for you guys, but we're recording this a few days early, so we have time to edit it and get it out to you guys on Monday. So if there is a Mandalorian Season 2 trailer and you guys have seen it while you're listening to this, that is the reason why we're not reviewing it, because we are recording this before that did happen, so we can't see the future. Although we were hoping that we would get one by today. We did get that post on Instagram from the official Star Wars account that said this is the day. Obviously, a cheeky joke off of this is the way, and it just showed the picture of the Mandalorian text with a blue background this time, and the Mandalorian standing next to Baby Yoda. So very similar to the one that we got, the teaser image we got for Season 1, but obviously with Baby Yoda standing next to Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, in this one, because obviously now we know who Baby Yoda is. So we were hoping to be able to do that. If we have some time towards the end of the show, we'll just kind of talk about that release date, which is, I believe, October 30th. Is supposed to be the first episode. So that's going to be the first episode. Maybe we'll, if in the later half of this episode here of the Chosen Ones, we'll talk about, that a little bit and what the significance of that could be. And hopefully next week we will be reviewing a trailer for you guys. But so the main topic we're going to discuss today is the trailer for the upcoming the fourth installment in the greatest series of video games ever created on the face of the planet.
Hells yeah.
And we are not talking about Battlefront. We are not talking about Knights of the Old Republic or any of that good stuff. We are talking about Lego Star Wars, which is just hands down, uncontested, the greatest video game series of all time. It's not even, we're being dead serious here. Nothing else competes with it. And so, we're going to be reviewing the new trailer we got for the new game, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This game was eventually supposed to come out in the middle of 2020. Then they delayed it until December of 2020. And now until October of 2020. And now it is delayed all the way until spring of 2021.
Which sucks.
Yeah, so it was October, and then it was December, and now it's the spring of 2021. So, the good news about that is that they're definitely putting a lot of time into this, and putting a lot of time rather than rushing this game out just to get it out before the holiday season, or during, in the midst of the holiday season. So that is that is a good thing. That's a positive note. It also probably means that they're pushing it back to get maybe an updated version and release on the next gen consoles, because if this is now coming out in March, the next gen consoles, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, which I think are both set to debut around November. I still don't think anybody knows. I think it's just holiday 2020 is the vague release date for both of those new next gen consoles. So this date being pushed back would mean that this game is coming out about 3 months into the lifespan of the next generation of main series consoles. And so obviously we know it's going to be released on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and I believe some form of PC release, probably on Steam or what have you. And so we'll just have to wait and see if they do make an updated version for the Xbox Series X and PS5, or if it's too late in the development stages for them to do that. But obviously them delaying it to spring 2021, that has come about in a lot of fans' minds, is maybe that's another reason they're trying to get upgraded versions of this game already out onto those next-gen consoles for those who get the next-gen consoles right away, if they want a better experience of this game on those consoles. So other than that, really, we're just going to talk about the official trailer that we got. This came out last week, back on August, excuse me, I'm going ahead of time. August 27th. So this trailer is just really about, it was a 2.5 minute little release trailer where it was very like cinematic, no actual like real in-game footage, I believe, throughout this whole trailer. thing that really
There
is like,
there is some because I'm watching. I'm watching it right now because I just
yeah,
love watching it because it's so
yeah.
kooky.
Yeah, because it's very, very cinematic. It's like they're making a trailer for the movies with
Yeah,
with the Legos, which is that's what this movie's supposed to feel like, and it's just very cinematic, going through a bunch of iconic scenes in the movies, obviously in Lego form. And like we said, it's a lot of it's cinematic. There's some stuff that looks like it could possibly be real in-game footage, but we're not 100% sure because there's no little icons or buttons
yeah. It does
on the
not
screen.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're not exactly sure what that will be, but obviously it looks beautiful. It's going
dude,
through all the stuff, and I mean,
I love
that,
this trailer.
yeah, it's so amazing. And yeah, so I mean, we're just gonna go into it, just discuss the trailer, and just discuss a little bit some of the things that we already know about the game. And so Captain, I know both of us are just watching this trailer on loop right now as we're talking. So if you just want to go through and give some of the things that you liked in this trailer, maybe just some specific scenes, some specific
Well,
elements that you saw in this trailer.
the first one is the fact that this looks absolutely stunning. I have no idea what engine this is running on, but it's absolutely beautiful. Like, it's beyond what it's probably like 4K shit, and
Yeah,
I'm too poor to be able to afford stuff to be like playing that. So, like, my PC is still over a decade old, but this looks absolutely beautiful. And my perfect part from this trailer, which comes towards the end, but it's I don't know if you're familiar with the Naked Gun movies, Leslie Nielsen.
No, not really.
Well, you know who Leslie Nielsen is, though, don't you? You've seen the movie Airplane. Come on,
Yes,
you've got to see
yes,
it.
I've
Yeah,
seen the movie.
he's the doctor on that. The woman goes, "Excuse me, you're a doctor." And he's wearing a stethoscope, and he's yes,
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. That guy used to do a TV show called Naked Gun, which got cancelled for being too funny. Seriously, that's the reason it got cancelled. And they used to do a gag where they would cut to a character shooting, cut to another character shooting, and then they'd cut to a wide shot, and there'd be nothing but like a dustbin in between them. And they do that in this trailer, and it was a nice homage, and it just made me giggle where Han and Greedo are on the opposite side of a table just popping shots over at each other.
Yeah.
I think this is the reason I prefer Lego Star Wars over
To any
every
other form
Star
of
Wars.
game in history.
Because it tells the Star Wars stories,
Yeah.
but it's bloody funny.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious.
It's
Um,
absolutely beautiful.
it al-
I can't get over it.
Yeah, it also, another thing that I love about the Lego Star Wars genre is obviously the games are amazing. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is just truly one of my favorite games of all time. I have so many good memories from that game. But also, I don't know if you've seen on Disney Plus, they have the Lego Star Wars Chronicles, like animated, like short things.
Like the Quest for R2D2, is it?
Yeah, and it's yeah, the one where C3 and they go off, and those are just so funny, and they get some of the real voice actors to come back. They got Anthony Daniels literally does every single iteration of C3PO on the face of the planet. I don't think anybody else in the world has ever done it. He likes to do it all for Lucasfilm and Disney. So he was, he's voicing C3PO in it. They got Billy D. Williams to come and do Lando Calrissian because we know how much he loves that character, and that character is Billy D. Williams. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. So I mean, those are just absolutely hilarious, and they go through like the Star Wars. There's little side missions that they go on. Like there's some that like take place after Episode 6, like the one that they have to go find R2D2. And then it's just and then they have the ones where they chronologically, I think it's Droid Tales where C3PO's explaining the stories, and they chronologically go through all of Star Wars through the eyes of C3PO and R2D2, and that just adds a lot of comedic effect to that, and it just it's very similar to exactly what they do in these Lego Star Wars games with adding all that comedy. And we see, like you said, we see a lot of that just in the trailer, like when Rey goes up to Luke, and you see the robe, and then she ports in the robe, and he walks over. When Leia's hair falls off, and when she comes out of the ship with the buns, and then she replaces it with the old hair. Just so many little comedic things that are just absolutely hilarious.
In that same scene with Leia as well, if you look in the background, C-3PO's painting his arm red with a roller.
I just saw that now as I'm flipping through the images.
I watch, if you go back and rewatch all this, you spot a ton of funny little things, like another C-3PO one, him having a little oil bath while the whole Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi scene is playing out. He's wearing a shower cap as well, and I'm like, I don't know who runs the Lego Star Wars department.
But they're
Or
just absolutely hilarious people.
someone must turn up to them and go, "Yeah, we need this game, and we need this, and we need this, and we need
Yeah.
to tell all the story." Apart from that, go nuts. Which is why little things, like C-3PO painting his arm red
Yeah.
sneaks in.
I mean, just some of the things that I love from the trailer. Like you said, the game just looks absolutely visually beautiful. I also just noticed at the end, the end scene when they have the release date, the box arts that they show. First off, I love the like the front box art cover of the game. That looks amazing with the Vader and then Luke standing there. And then it's coming out for Nintendo Switch, which we knew already, PS4, which we knew already, and then Xbox One, which we knew already. Now there's also a separate PS5 box, and then the Xbox box says Xbox Series X and Xbox One on it. So so it's kind of like how now they, for the past year or so, they had the Xbox One X, and then they released games like Modern Warfare was on the same disc, but you could play it on the Xbox One or the Xbox One X, and if you put it on the Xbox One X, it would be updated graphics and whatever, and it would kind of, the new updated game would kick in if you put it into the Xbox One X. So now it looks like the Xbox Series X and Xbox One version is just going to be the same disc, so you'll be able to play it on both consoles if you have both. But obviously if you have both, you'll be playing it on Xbox Series X, which is an updated thing. And then obviously Nintendo Switch, which I think I'm probably going to get it on my Switch because I think it's first off, it's going to be the same exact graphics. It probably won't be as nice as the Series X and the PS5, but it will be probably it will look just like it does on the Xbox One, play just like it does on the Xbox One, and you can play it on handheld mode, which is a big plus for me. So I'm definitely going to be probably getting it on the Nintendo Switch, so I'll be able to carry it around and play it in the handheld mode with the same quality I would as if it was in the port, as if it was in the dock on a TV. So that's definitely intriguing, is that it's going to be released on all those different consoles. And just with the trailer itself, I mean, there's really not much else that can be said about the Lego Star Wars series. It's just like we said, it's very funny. It's very, very good games. It goes through and it tells the story with comedy aspects while also still telling an accurate, rendition of the Star Wars story, going through all of the, going through everything. And obviously just, the pure comedy we got in this trailer, and just how beautiful and gorgeous this game looks. And just one thing that I noticed that I want to talk about quick, and that I also have like some other information that I saw in another YouTube video from this YouTuber Battlefront Knight. He was saying that there's going to be first off, at like about 28 seconds in the trailer, Captain, if you just want to like click on that, there's a scene with Vader that looks like the Rogue One scene. The doorway scene. It looks like the doorway scene in Rogue One. Now, apparently that's been confirmed to not actually be the Rogue One doorway scene. So Rogue One and Solo are not, like, you cannot play through those movies in the initial launch of the game. The game is also going to launch with a like an Ultimate Edition, or whatever you want to call it, like a special edition for however much more money, where you get 6 DLC packs, which you can also buy individually. Those 6 DLC packs are, one of them is called Classic Characters, which is really intriguing because what that does is it's taking the old I'm trying to think, the old detailed minifigures from Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, because like obviously there's a lot in this trailer that we see that the character figures are like much more updated and different. Like one that I noticed is Anakin's Episode 2 looks kind of off in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of how it looks, of the hair color and whatever, but then you can go back. The Classic Characters pack is going to give a bunch of the main characters old original character models, so that'll be less detail and less like good looking than they will in this game. So they'll kind of look a little bit out of place, but it's just for that nostalgia value. It's kind of like if any of you viewers, if you guys have Halo Master Chief Collection, where you can flip back and forth between like the old graphics and the new graphics. It's just kind of like that, where sometimes it just feels out of place because sometimes it's just like old character in like a new beautiful scene. But I mean, I still think that's a cool addition for fans who want a little bit of that nostalgia taste. And then the other DLC packs are also for one of them is a Clone Wars pack, I believe. One of them is a Star Wars story pack, and a Rogue One pack. So
basically, they're just DLC.
So the DLC, yeah, but not like the missions to play them, just the characters. So it's just, you just get the characters for those. And I believe there might be 2 other DLC packs, but I'm not sure because I don't know what the other 2 would be. It was either 4 or 6. I just named 4. I don't think, because I don't know what the and then Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. I take that back. Mandalorian Season 1 pack and Mandalorian Season 2 pack. So those will be those characters. We will not be getting any missions for those as of yet, but I can 100% see them releasing, paid DLC, or, in a perfect world, a free update like they did with Battlefront 2 when they updated for all that new content. In a perfect world, a free update for maybe Solo Star Wars Story and Rogue One a Star Wars Story, because those can't really be done on their own standalone game. I don't really think most people would buy like Lego Star Wars, a Star Wars Story Edition. So I think that an added DLC, even if they had to pay for it, for people who really wanted to play through those movies, if it was just $20 or whatever to get those 2 movies, I think there's a lot of people who would pay for that. I really don't even as a Star Wars fan, I would find it pretty hard to pay $60 for a standalone Lego game like that. But then with Clone Wars, I could 100% see them making maybe a year or 2 down the line, now that they have full 7 seasons of Clone Wars, because when they made the original Lego Star Wars Clone Wars game, I believe there were only 4 seasons. Yeah, 3 or 4 seasons in, and they had enough content to make a standalone one then. So they definitely have it now. So if they wanted to make an updated version, I do not see that coming into this game as a form of DLC, because they could definitely release that as its own standalone Lego video game and probably make just as much money as they will with the Skywalker Saga one, because there's a lot of super dedicated Clone Wars fans out there who will definitely buy that. And then with the Mandalorian, I could also see them doing Mandalorian missions that would be a DLC pack on this game, because that I also don't think would be a good standalone Lego Star Wars Star Wars game. And I really only think the 2 avenues they could go down to make standalone Lego Star Wars games are the movies and the Clone Wars. I don't really see doing the Star Wars stories and a D+ series like the Mandalorian. No matter how popular it is and how amazing it is, I don't really think that it's worth it for them to make a standalone game for that. So that could also probably be a DLC pack. And then one other thing that I actually am probably going to do is, I'm not really a big fan of the voice acting lines in, we got them in the trailer. Obviously, they're not. See, now, I've heard a lot of fans say that they don't like the taking the voice lines straight out of the movies, because it restricts them with how they have to create the scenes in the Lego game. But I like that only because it just feels more normal, and it feels more like following the actual movie. I don't necessarily like having, like a guy impersonating a young Luke Skywalker, voicing Luke Skywalker in a Lego movie, in a Lego video game. So there's supposedly supposed to be an option to just revert back to only the grunts of the Lego guys, which, to be honest, I might do. Or I might like split and just see if I like the voice acting lines, and if I don't, adapt. But some of the key voice actors, like I'm assuming, I can't think off the top of my head if there was any C-3PO voice lines, but I would bet probably all of my money that Anthony Daniels is doing it.
The standard.
I would bet probably all the money I have that Anthony Daniels would be doing those voice lines for the game. If I'm assuming C-3PO has some lines. I'm not sure who would be doing the R2-D2 voice lines. We'll have to figure out the voice actor.
I'm thinking the synthesizer.
and then hopefully Billy D. Williams does Lando, even though Lando probably won't have a super big role. I mean, he'll be around in episodes 5 and 6 in this, and 9, of course. But obviously we know Harrison Ford will not be coming back to do this. Apparently the voice actor they got to do Leia sounds almost exactly like a young Carrie Fisher. So I'm kind of looking forward to hear that. That's what I've heard from watching some other YouTube videos and just from other fans. And I'm trying to think what I would like to think that for the sequels they got the sequel voice actors to do that. We can't confirm obviously, but I'd like to think that they did that. I also hope that Mark Hamill would do the older Luke Skywalker at least, because obviously we know, other than Star Wars, really his only acting has been voice acting, for really his whole career. So I would not be surprised if he did
Cocknocker. If you remember what that's from.
I don't know what that's from. The name.
Jane Silent Bob. He plays a guy called Cockknocker, which is a guy with a giant fist. That's it. He just punches people in the dick. And he's also been in Watchmen. He was in Watchmen.
Yeah. But definitely not. He does a lot. He did a lot more voice acting after his Star Wars career than he did live acting. But so yeah, I mean, yeah. So then we have that option to be able to change between the grunts and whatever, and to the straight voice, the regular voice line. So that kind of intrigues me. Other than those are really the only two like specific tidbits on the game I could touch on at the moment. Obviously, I mean, I don't know, Captain, if there's anything else that you want to talk about, specifically in the trailer, or any hopes for the game.
Yeah, I hope that I can specifically turn off the voice for Rey, because I don't like Rey. I don't like any of those movies. As people who are frequent to these videos, no.
Maybe maybe they'll have an option specifically for that, to be able to turn off.
Shut up, the stupid entitled lass. Yeah.
Maybe you can buy the game without the sequels added into it.
See,
Maybe they
what
have
I
that
want to
option.
know is because I really liked the Lego Clone Wars game. I liked the whole army aspect to it and building and all that kind of stuff. That was a lot of fun. I like RTS kind of games, and it was a small amount of RTS, which was kind of cool. But if they go further down the line, I would like to see that mechanic come back. However, because that probably won't be a thing, my only hope is that Billy D does come back to voice all of the lines for Billy D, and I can just play the entire game as Lando Calrissian, being the most suave guy in the entire galaxy, shooting my way, smuggling my way, flirting my way like I do in real life, all the way through to the final goal of kicking Rey out of the main story and making it the Lando movies. That's what I care about.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I have to really talk about this trailer in this game is that obviously just I'm very, very excited. I'm pretty bummed out that they're delaying it, but like we said earlier, I guess it's a good thing because that means that they're really, instead of rushing this game out, they really want to spend a lot of time on it. Obviously, I mean, I think Disney is aware of I mean, this isn't even sarcastic at this point. How impactful the game Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga was, for younger Star Wars fans when it came out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that game was just so amazing, and to have such a devout fan base of fans who played that game and still love it today. And a lot of them hope still around playing video games to be buying this game. That'll be a big part of their audience. And I just hope that they don't try to completely recreate that game, don't make it a carbon copy, but, definitely make a big effort to, kind of repeat the magic of the Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Because, that would obviously certainly be great. Just the one thing that I think shies away from that a little bit is obviously the voice acting lines, but that's something that they've only been doing in, the past couple years of, Lego Star Wars games.
I don't think they really could do it in the PS2 era, could they?
Yeah, I just... That's the one discrepancy I have, is because I was never a massive fan of doing that in the Lego games. I did not I remember playing the Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens game. I was not a big fan of that one.
It used to be they'd just grunt, and then it got upgraded where they'd just take snippets from the movie, and it'd be like 2 seconds in one cutscene.
It would be very, very that I prefer that. I'm not a big fan of them kind of building scenes around voice acting lines who aren't the real voice actors of the game. But it is what it is, and obviously we'll get the game, and I think the DLC packs that are rumored are also pretty intriguing. I'd like to think, I hope they're not too much extra money.
I mean, £5. That's about $7.
Yeah.
I mean, if each pack. So let's take if we took the Mando one, there's not many characters in Mandalorian, but if we took the Clone Wars one, there's a good 20 odd characters in that. Yeah. £5 or $7 for that is pretty affordable.
Yeah, I also think
it's aimed at kids.
Yeah, so. I'm also curious as to what the ultimate edition of the game would be, because a lot of times you see it, I believe the one for the Force Awakens, I think they called it the deluxe edition, was $80, and it came with a bunch of DLC character packs from this original trilogy, just for pure nostalgia value. So that was $20 more. So what I'm assuming is what you said is could be racked for individually. I could see $7 each. Which would equate to, for all 6 of them, $42 extra. And then if the deluxe edition was only $20 more, that would just be a ploy to get people to just buy the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I noticed as I'm just flipping through this, for some odd reason, Yaddle is just kind of standing there on Kashyyyk in one scene. And I'm very, very confused as to why a character who we saw for half a second probably in the background of the Phantom Menace and who never had any words, I guess they're really riding the Baby Yoda hype that much that they're let's put Yaddle in this game so that people think it's Baby Yoda older, and we'll get people to buy.
I don't think it's Yaddle. I just think it's supposed to be a young Yoda.
But see, why would a young Yoda be in it though? That's what I don't get.
Well, there was a piece of news that was a couple of days old, which showed
about
a young
Yoda
Yoda.
in the High Republic. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, so they might be doing that. Plus, no offense, if you look at the chest Lego part of it, I see no defined. Yeah. So,
Yeah, but also Yaddle. We have no idea what a female of Yoda's species is really like, because from Yaddle all we saw was a face cross sitting on a thing, and we were just aware of the fact that she was a girl. There was never really anything that proved that. It was just that George Lucas was like, yeah, that's a female Yoda, basically.
yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure even she's a mammal. Gotta have that. But we're getting into the biology of fucking Star Wars right there. I don't think it's Yaddle. I think it's just young Yoda.
Yeah, either way, it's a little off place in that scene. But that's just that was one odd thing that I noticed as I was flipping through. But yeah, I mean that really does it, for the trailer discussion. Obviously, we'll be getting a lot more news. We'll be getting a lot more news, moving forward about this game as we approach the launch in spring. And yes, I mean that really does it for this episode. We'll just hopefully next week we'll be having an in-depth Mandalorian trailer review, and we'll have something really good to talk about. But so yeah, and if it already came out by now, like we said, we already went over. This is being recorded on Friday, September 4th. So if it came out after that, we have no control of the fact that we're not talking about it for this episode. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about it with you guys next Monday. And if not, we'll think of something else to talk about. And all right, enjoy the trailer if it comes out, and we'll see you next week.
Toodles.